Okay, so last night I kind of incorrectly reported that BUSD was kind of in trouble. It's actually USDC that's in trouble, but it did have an impact on BUSD. So it looked like BUSD was losing its peg, but it was more to do with all the inflows of USDC getting converted to BUSD that was the issue. So Binance has temporarily suspended auto conversion of USDC to BUSD due to current market conditions, specifically related to high inflows and the increasing burden to support the conversion. This is a normal high-risk management procedural step to take while we monitor the situation. So what's happened is USDC is in a little bit of trouble. I'm not saying massive amount of trouble, but it is in a bit of trouble. So if we have a look at this here, basically, in order for it to be a stable coin, so this is Circle's website, and it's talking about USDC. Whoops. Okay, let's just come down. What's going on with my mouse here? Right, so there we go. According to Circle, there's $42 billion in circulation today, March the 11th, of USDC. So in order to have $42 billion of circulation, they've got to have $42 billion of actual dollars or something that's backing it up. Now, unfortunately, $3.3 billion of that is in the bank, SVB Bank, SV Bank, okay, Silicon Valley Bank, okay, and that has obviously gone tits up, for want of a better expression. So basically, it's $3.3 billion that they can't access. So in other words, you can kind of write off that 3.3 billion for now. And so that 3.3 billion is no longer backing the 42 billion. All right. So that is basically what's happened. So don't worry about Circle USDC going to zero, because at the end of the day, it's just got 3.3 billion less backing it. All right. So what this means is, if we do a calculation now, and this is where the numbers slightly differ, because here on the Circle website, you've got $42 billion. And if you go to Coin Market Cap, they're saying the circulating supply is 40.8. So which figure do you take, 40.8 or 42 billion? I'm not entirely too sure, but let's have a go at them both. So if you take the figure 40.8, you put it into a calculator, 3.3 billion divided by 40.8 gets you 0.08. So that is how far off it should be off one. Okay, so 1 for 1, it would be 1. All right, so in other words, if you had $42 billion of actual dollars backing the Circle token coin, then it would be worth $1. But obviously, it's come off its peg because you've now lost this $3.3 billion. So the question is, how far off this peg should it be? So should it be 0.08? Should it be this much off 1, or should it actually be, if we change the figure, if we use the 40.87, let's say, hold on a minute, 40.87. So if I do 40, oh no, that's that one, isn't it? If I use the 42 billion, sorry. So instead of 3.3 divided by 40.8, so that would be the coin market price. If I use Circle's website, then it should be this far off it. So it should be slightly less off 1 if we're using the Circle figure. So it should be 0.08 at most off. Now, if you go here, so it should be 0.92. That's what I'm trying to say. So at the moment, it's 0.9138. So there's an argument here for buying Circle here and get it up to 0.92. So anything below 0.92, I would say is value for money. Okay, so if you wanted to trade USDC with USDT, then if USDT is 1 for 1, then USDC is below where it should be, in my opinion. Okay, that would be just my basic maths there. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but looking at that, it seems slightly off where it should be. Now, the other thing is that is making an assumption that that $3.3 billion is now worthless. And is that going to be strictly true? Probably not. Usually in these things, and it's usually big organizations that get paid out first. So if that SV Bank does go, if Silicon Valley Bank does go to zero, and have to liquidate all the assets and stuff. So if that 3.3 billion is within those assets, I mean, is there anything coming back from that? Do they get a lot of the time you get like 5% of your money back, that kind of thing? So is that 3.3 billion worth I don't know, 200 million or something like that? I don't know. So that's kind of the question there. Is it possible they're going to get it all back? And if there's a case for getting it all back, then obviously this should be back up to for 1 to 1. So there's potential for gains here, I think, but I don't think USDC is going to zero. The rest of the backing seems fine unless other things go wrong. It's just a 3.3 billion, just okay. I wouldn't mind 3.3 billion in my back pocket, but yeah, 3.3 billion is off the table, as it were, at the moment. It's in midair, and we don't know what's happening with it really. But it's still backed. Circle is USDC is still heavily backed by about 92%, I would say. It's 92% backed. So that's where I am with that. So yeah, it's not BUSD that went that was off its peg. It's USDC, which caused some ripples, okay, across the ecosystem. So hopefully that's cleared things up, and maybe you might think about buying some Circle, 0.5% gain, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Up to you. Not financial advice, of course.